Welcome to Let's Talk Evolution, the podcast where real life experience meets the complexities of today's tech industry. Each episode, we dive into a specific topic with thought leaders who know the systems, the structures, and the nuances that drive the industry. This series is all about unpacking the inner workings of tech and learning from the people who understand it best. I'm Danelle from Evolution Recruitment Solutions, and today I am your host. In this episode, we're unpacking how AI and mobile-first technologies are reshaping the world of entertainment and what the rise of microdrama means for creators, platforms, and audiences. We've all seen short-form videos explode across TikTok, Instagram, and beyond, but there's a massive shift happening behind the scenes that's turning this into a billion-dollar industry. Joining me today is someone who's right in the middle of that shift, Timothy O, General Manager of COL Group. Timothy is a growth-driven leader with 17 years of global experience across marketing, business strategy, and commercial leadership. Under his leadership, the company has been pioneering the vertical drama format, taking what started as a bite-sized mobile story and turning into a new kind of entertainment business. Timothy, welcome to the show. Before we dive in, could you share a quick introduction about yourself and your journey with COL?
You've done such an amazing introduction. It's hard to beat that. So my name is Tim, and I have been in the media, tech, and entertainment space for the last 17 years. I think it's a bit of a coming home moment, circling back to TV films where I first started out. I've evolved across the years. When I first started, I was in a filmmaker and celebrity publicist. Then subsequently, gone into more commercial gaming aspect of my career, and so I'm very excited to be back in this space, working with COL, which is a publicly listed company. It's a Chinese company that is based out of Beijing, but we have operations all across the world, including Singapore, Tokyo, LA, and like you rightfully said, we drive the new, I would say, trend of micro dramas that is capturing hearts, eyes, and attention span, which is quite a shift from the regular TV watching habit that people have. COL started with basically digitizing of IPs and novels into online, and it's a natural evolution, right? Storytelling is always going to be there. It's just a matter of where people are consuming the content. So I think that it's quite remarkable where the company has evolved to with this, and yeah, very excited to see it taking it off in Asia a lot more in the coming years.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks for the introduction. Actually, I learned about microdramas when I first chatted with Tim, so it was great to learn about it, but hopefully can educate you guys as well. So microdramas have been described as a billion-dollar trend disrupting traditional TV and film, right? So how would you explain what microdramas are and why are they growing so quickly?
Yeah, micro dramas, to be frank, vertical viewing experience, right, is something that is not new. Ever since TikTok, Instagram stories has existed, right, you have been watching content on a vertical format. But what has happened is that uh, people are starting to spend more time watching this in their leisure time. You watch these TikTok videos, silly dance videos and stuff for hours while you're waiting for the train, while you're commuting, or while you're at home in the toilet. So what we have done is essentially monetize it. So the big question is, how do we take something that is free, which is UGC driven, to something that is something that you pay for? So what microdramas come is how microdramas has been introduced is that we put forward very short episodes that is approximately 1 to 2 minutes long, and you get to watch these teasers or episodes on social media platforms, and you're prompted to download to finish the series. And they're typically around 90 to 120 minutes in total, which approximate to like 80 episodes, and depends on the series itself. The shows are usually very exciting, very arc tree driven. Arc tree meaning you just go straight into a drama, and you're always getting hooks and exciting stories, which typically in a regular series you would sometimes wait till episode 6 to get to that revenge plot. But right from the get go with micro dramas, you get it within the first couple of minutes, and it brings you in, it draws you in, and it fits right into the attention span that we're people have these days. So I think that essentially is what micro drama is. It's not new, but at the same time, it's the way it's being monetized and the way it's being produced is new.
Yeah, I think like when you look about like when you say that capturing attention like right in the start of the show, there must basically incorporate quite a lot of planning or good script production, right? And you mentioned that COL started adopting AI quite a long time ago, right? Before it became a
Very.
buzzword.
Mhm.
So it's very fascinating when you explain how AI helped you test scripts, predict what stories resonate with people, before production begins. Could you possibly walk us through what the creative process looks like how AI is helping to shape the way content is created, tested, and scaled?
Sure. Back before even ChatGPT existed, the company has actually launched this platform, which is proprietary to us in China, where we have like this tool called Xiaoyao, where we actually allow users and creators to use prompts to write novels. And this essentially is something that you could do very easily and quickly, and we have evolved the tool to become a script writing tool as well with time. I think AI is always a part of our identity, given that we are always looking at how do we look at producing things at a more efficient space and time. AI comes in quite handy, I think, with the advancement in the recent years, from the aspect of script writing to even like QA,
Mm.
quality assurance, making sure that there is consistency in the scenes, post production, and even using data, and you putting it through AI to analyze what audiences are watching, where are the hooks, how do we revise the script based on this information. So AI is definitely plays quite a crucial role in our entire process. I'm quite looking forward to see how things advance, but at the same time, I am sometimes just wishing that we get to the end of this evolution, because as we are in the process of understanding what AI is, and I'm sure you know, right? It is quite frustrating to see something new and go like, okay, so what is this? I've just learned something, right? And then you have to change or adapt to it, and then something else comes along. For example, recently there is the launch of Sora, right? And then you have Instagram and TikTok filled with AI videos that is, you don't know whether if it's real or not. At first it's funny, but it gets quite frustrating because you don't know what is real and what isn't. So I think that this is going to be quite an interesting journey of us discovering what AI is. We will stretch the potential and opportunity, and then we will ground it a little bit and make it as part of our regular life. So as for our company itself, I think we are rolling out AI quite progressively. I think it's crucial to understand what is going to be beneficial for us versus replacing everything with AI.
Interesting. And just for my own, like, this personal interest, I think you were previously back in traditional film production, right? Now
Mm.
with AI, what is the difference in the time it takes to make a movie?
I think in the past, right, when you write a script, you literally would have to have formats, right? You basically write in the same format, like this person says what. With AI and tools, you are able to input these dialogues, and it gets structured for you very easily and quickly, right? And then it also picks out errors that you potentially would have made, for example, a spelling error, or like inconsistency in the scene, or whether if it's repeated, as sometimes you write it. So I think AI actually helps in ensuring that there are lesser errors. But on the hindsight, AI makes a lot of errors. Sometimes I find AI a bit too
You do.
agreeable. So I do, like I said, I do think that we're still in the evolution part of things. I don't think AI is absolutely 100% reliable at this very point. I'm sure you agree. It is super agreeable. When you ask AI whether if you just try it, right? Ask it and say whether if this is good for you. You just basically, it will tell you that it's good for you if you want it to tell you it's good for you, and whether if it's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It
It's too
depends which one you
agreeable.
use. There's a I know there's a one of the versions called Monday,
Yeah,
where it's a little bit more, I guess, straight
honest.
up to the point and honest.
Yes.
But I don't think it's like anything serious. It's just quite an interesting version to kind of play around with. Right,
Yes.
right, right. So on to the third question, I guess, and that is like a vertical format viewing has completely changed how people consume content. I think from a technological perspective, what innovations are enabling this shift at scale, and also what do you foresee the future of, I guess, the entertainment industry to be?
Okay, so I think it's the access to data. Back in the days, when you produce a series or a movie, you would have to when the production house completes it, you would have to put it through the board, the network, where they will have to review the show, and then it goes back to the editing suite, and then it comes back out again, and then they are happy with it, and it goes on broadcast. You start to distribute and sell it. With this new format and vertical format itself, you're able to put it up, and whether if it's a good piece of content or not, it is dependent on the data. Whether if people are watching it, they are dropping off after 5 seconds, they are paying for it, they're not paying for it. I think these data speaks for itself. And the ability to go back and change it very quickly and upload it. Back in the days, right? For those who are in the media and has or study media, when you are learning about editing, right? You edit a show based on a narrative, based on the pacing that you like. But today you learn, as an influencer, edit stuff, right? They want to make sure that with sense of like putting the video up, you will be able to have the hook, right? They'll say, this is why I hate coming to Vietnam. Then you know what I'm saying, and then it goes into the actual reason, actually,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's true or not. So the editing is not just based on what you want to tell, but it is also based on how do you hook people in, and
Mm.
having data helps with the entire process. So I think there is going to be a very data-driven future moving ahead. Secondly, I think we will start seeing more gamification. We'll start seeing games and entertainment having a stronger relation. You are able to pick the outfits of the character, and then through based on that, you have two different outcomes, and then from there you get to choose who you want to talk to within the show. So it's going to be a bit similar to like what you get from those RPG games, and I'm quite excited to see that.
They did one with Black Mirror, right? Something
Yes,
similar.
but it's going to be even more interactive. I saw one recently that has the ability to, it's a 宫廷剧. If those who don't know, it's like a palace drama where you can choose how you want to respond to the 皇后, and then they will see how many episodes you survive, and then you can go back,
Oh.
and then yeah, before you get expelled or killed by her, and then you get to choose the story outcomes and rewind again if you pay.
Oh, that's quite interesting. I didn't realize that was what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah,
so
yeah.
the with mobile, right, it is going to get a lot more interesting with the outcomes. Yeah.
I can't wait till that happens. Looking forward to that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and I think it brings us to our last question, and that's surrounding people. And as you start building your teams in Singapore and across
Mm.
Asia, what skills and mindsets do you think people need to succeed in this fast-changing media tech space, especially when traditional like training in films or TV is no longer applies?
I think this applies for any role, with the disruption of technology, not necessarily AI, but with how things are changing, the shifting trends. I think it's very important to have agility and adaptability. I have, in the last couple of months, I've been talking to different kind of people, and you have people who have incredibly experienced, people who are extremely knowledgeable, but this knowledge and experience takes you this far if you don't know how to adapt, and be agile. And I think it's super important that we find, or rather in this very fast-paced, evolving world that we're in, we find that desire to be ahead of the curve. And even if you don't know about it, I think it's very important to go understand and how to embrace it, because the reality is, experience is only going to take you this far. How we do things back in the days, I'll give you an example. I remember when I was very young, I would go to Suntec City and go to this SCV, which is if you remember, like they have these road shows where they promote all the 100 over channels. You have Discovery Channel, you have all these different networks. Um, Today, these networks hardly exist on TV anymore. And the scale is so much smaller. So it's so important that we don't get stuck in our our former glory days, and we
Mm-hmm.
find new ways to basically repurpose this knowledge that we have. So agility is something that I think we look for, and I hope people would embrace that a lot more.
Yeah, I think it applies for all industries, right? I think if AI come into play, we all have to adapt or get left behind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's a wrap for this episode of Let's Talk Evolution. A huge thank you to Timothy, of course, for sharing your insights on how AI apps and vertical storytellings are redefining the entertainment landscape and what it means for the next generation of media professionals. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave us a comment and share this episode with your network. We've got more conversations coming your way, so see you in the next one.